Hello everybody, 大家好. Today we are with Anastasia Kovaleva from Vivatao and here in the first EU Cross-Border E-Commerce Forum. So first of all, could you introduce yourself and what your company is doing?
My name is Anastasia, and first of all, I represent Russian E-Commerce Association. Our association was based in Moscow 15 years ago, and the main purpose of association is to develop cross-border between Russia and all other countries. But according to statistics, we realized that the biggest inbound of parcels for cross-border channel are coming from China. That's why in 2015 we set up a representative office in Shanghai. And currently we are helping Chinese merchants to enter Russian e-commerce markets through cross-border online channels. So also in 2010, I set up my first online project, which is called Vivatao. It was a website which was helping to Russian consumers buy Chinese products online directly from China with delivery to their homes. So it was in 2010, and later we realized that e-commerce is developing very fast. AliExpress came to Russian market and it was a big competition, and we made conclusion that we need to adopt our business model to something new. And last year we created the new project called Smart Market, which is help local platforms in different countries in Europe and Russia to have access to the source of Chinese products, like to manufacturers, to Chinese sellers, a lot of products for the very competitive prices. So we cooperate with local platforms such as B2W in Brazil, Allegro in Poland, Rozetka in Ukraine, Yulmart in Russia. So all local platforms in Europe or other countries who want to increase their sales through not only domestic sales but cross-border, can use Smart Market to have access to Chinese products and to sell them in their own regions.
And what do you think the main trend for e-commerce 2020, in particular between Russia and China?
Well, I should start that for Russia, China is a very big partner in e-commerce. And for China as well, Russia took place number 2 according to the e-commerce parcels coming from China to all other countries. We take place number 2 after US. For example, I gave you the statistics. Last year, Chinese sellers ship every day from China only to Russia 1 million parcels per day. It's a huge number. As I said, we are number 2 for China after US, but thanks to Trump and his new policy, I think his new policy to China, very strange policy, I think in next year we become the number 1 already for China according to the number of parcels, e-commerce parcels, yes. Also, I would love to say that the very positive factor in Russia for the cross-border development is very high duty-free threshold, which we have right now. It's last year it was 1,000 euros per parcel. This year is 500 euros per parcel, and next year it will be decreasing until 200 euros, but still it's a lot. For example, if we compare with European market, it's just 22 euros. What can you buy for 22 euros? When I say duty-free threshold, it means that when you receive parcel from abroad and the value of the product inside of the parcel is not increasing, for Europe 22 euros, for Russia 500 euros, you don't need to pay any taxes. So this is a very positive fact. Russian consumers can buy a lot from abroad, and of course they choose Chinese platforms. Why? First of all, Russian consumers are very price sensitive. 75% of them looking for the cheapest price. And the second reason why they like to shop online abroad, it's great assortment of the products on different platforms. Like, for example, sometimes you can buy on Chinese platforms something that you cannot find in your own country. And if we are talking about trends in future, I can say that these trends in cross-border e-commerce between China and Russia can be also relevant to the Europe as well. So the first trend which we expect to see is decreasing of delivery time for cross-border parcels from China to other countries. How is possible to do it? First of all, I think that it would be possible to organize direct flight with parcels from China to particular cities in Europe or in Russia and to make delivery very fast. The second reason is to set up the local warehouses in Russia, in Europe. Of course, in Europe already exists so-called bounded warehouses where you store your products and you don't pay any custom duties until you're not selling the products. But unfortunately in Russia we don't have this legislation for bounded warehouses yet. But as far as you know, Chinese government recently set up a new initiative which is called One Belt, One Road initiative. And in this situation, I guess Russia has a lot of advantages in terms of bounded warehouses. Why? Because Russia can become a very important transit hub on the way of goods moving from China to Europe. And in this case, the setting up legislation for bounded warehouses would be very, very important and useful for our country. So, as I said, the first trend is decrease in delivery time. And the second trend, which we expect to see in future in cross-border e-commerce, and it's already started to be implemented, Chinese platforms in future, and they do it already now, will start to help not only Chinese sellers to sell abroad, but also to help foreign sellers to sell inside their own country and to sell outside to all over the world. I can give you one example about Russia. The Chinese company AliExpress and the biggest internet company Mail.ru in Russia, they have around 100 million active internet users. They made a deal, they closed a deal and set up a joint venture company in Russia to develop Russian cross-border e-commerce. So it means that AliExpress start to help Russian sellers to sell already within the Russia and to sell abroad. I know that in Italy they start to implement such initiative as well, and the more and more new countries are coming. So it's a good tendency that Chinese platforms become not only for Chinese sellers, but for all over the world users. I think it's a great tendency, and let's see what will be the next. I'm really looking forward to see the results of this great initiative. Yeah.
So thanks, Anastasia, for your time, and we see you later in and why not next year in the next AU Cross Border E-commerce Forum. Thank you so much.